morning, everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a good day. So, I was up late last night doing the react to Chantal's first live back in Canada. As you guys can see, I did the react to that. And I woke up this morning to check Twitter, as I do, because I like to collect stuff for the Twitter peeps and add that to my next react. And what did I find? That Chantal's not in even Canada a week, and she's already starting the grift. So, what's the newest grift? Well, we know part of it already. She talked about getting a kitten, and she's getting it today. So, that's the first part of the grift. But there's also another part. She did a community post saying that she started a PayPal fundraiser to raise $3,500 for her new place. And I've got questions. I got a lot of questions, y'all. A lot of questions. So Chantal was in Syria. While she was there, she did a lot of grifting, a lot of fundraising for her new place. Where's the money? Where's the money that was raised for this new place previously? She raised quite a bit, didn't she? I remember she got almost $1,000 on PayPal for her new place. Couple that with the fact that she was in Syria and she confessed herself that she wasn't paying rent in Syria, that everything was really cheap. So when you think about it, if Chantal's getting $2,000, $3,000 paychecks on YouTube, and she was in Syria for a few months, she should have quite a bit stocked away just from that. That's not even counting all of the anonymous PayPal donations, of which cannot be counted. There's no telling how much she got just privately through people. Where did all that money go? Where did it go? She got money for a scooter, she got money for a house, and she immediately needs more. Now, the react that I did last night, she was in some sort of motel or hotel room. It was kind of hard to tell. So, just from what I saw in the live itself, let's see. She's in a room. She had a THC vape. She had gummies. She ordered fast food, got her nails done, got her hair done. Most of those things were not necessities. If she's got money for all that, she doesn't need to grift. Also, I just want to put this in. Chantal, if you're coming back to Canada and you have to grift money for a place to live, you don't need a pet. It's not a good look that you're coming back to Canada and you're so down bad that you need to grift money. You don't need another innocent life to take care of. I do recognize things for what they are, though. You are seriously rage baiting the community. And do I think you need money? No. I just think you want money. You want money for your party favors. You want money for the fast food. And you're looking towards your beezers to provide all, rather than do the work yourself and make money the right way. Speaking of which, some thoughts about that. Just a question that I'd like to ask the beezers before we get into Twitter peeps, of course. So beezers, here's some logic sense thinking, common sense thinking. Just a question, mind you. So if you're giving money to Chantal for stuff for the house, and she's already told you guys, well, I'm not going to show the house, then how are you going to know if she has spent money on those items if she won't show them on camera? Just something to think about. If you guys are buying her stuff on Amazon, and if you are giving her money through PayPal for different things, how are you going to know that's where the money went if you can't see the object in question? Just give that a thought. So I've got a lot of thoughts, and here's another one. Anyone that's been paying attention to the news lately, then you know that SNAP benefits will be cut off as of November 1st. There are millions of people who depend on SNAP, people who work, people who are doing right, they're honest people, and their SNAP benefits are going to be cut off. There's a lot of insecurity right now related to food. Millions of people are scared about how they're going to get food, how they're going to feed their families. They're very worried. And food banks are worried that they won't be able to handle the overflow of people that are going to be coming in looking for food. There's a lot of fear going on in the world right now related to that. And here's Foodie over here, who clearly is not starving, spending money on nails, spending money on fast food, getting a cat. She's not starving. Foodie, you are tone deaf to what's going on around you outside your door. A lot of people are scared that they can't put food on the table. They can't pay their bills. They can't pay their rent. Anybody who's ever gone to the grocery store, you know the cost of groceries are going up, way up. And there's just not enough money to go around for a lot of us. And you would think that Foodie would pay attention and maybe do something nice here and there. Maybe do a fundraiser of her own to benefit a food bank or something to that degree, but she's not. So she's grifting money left and right from people who probably need that money. But she's looking for the suckers in the audience that will give her money. What's the old saying? A fool and their money are soon parted. But Foodie, you really do need to pay attention. Things are really hard right now. A lot of people are scared. The holiday season is always kind of stressful. Money that has to be spent on things, and right now people just don't have it. So pay attention, Foodie. A lot of people very food insecure right now, very afraid. And there you are just spending money frivolously. So I just wanted to say that before we get started. So how about we get into Twitter, peeps, y'all, because there is some stuff to go over. All right, it's time for the Twitter, peeps. Goodness gracious. Chantal's doing everything in her power to rage bait the community. Between the grifting and the getting of an animal, she is trying really hard to rage bait people. She's not even being subtle about it. All right. So for those of you that are on Twitter, that you would like to follow me on Twitter, here's my handle, Wild Girl Sarah. And for those of you not on Twitter, that's why I do the peeps, to keep you guys informed of everything going on. So let's start here with a post courtesy of Aliyah Sultana saying THC gummies and vapes aren't necessities. Those things are luxuries, Chantal. Nobody's responsibility for your lifestyle or your mentals. Get a job. Well, she calls YouTube her job, but she's not doing her job very well, is she? She got a 100K plus channel, and you would think that she'd be making enough off a channel of that size to basically pay for everything she needs. And yet she's just senselessly grifting from people who make far less than her. I'm not in Chantal's pocket. I don't know exactly how much she makes, but I would imagine between her YouTube paycheck, which should be about, I would say, $2,000, $3,000, maybe more, plus all the PayPal donations and the grifting, she's making quite the pretty penny. So here's my question to Chantal. Where's your money going? Where has it been going? You've not even been in Canada a week. Where did it all go? I'd like to know. If you're going to your Beezers and you're asking for their money, then I think it would be only fair for you to show receipts about where your money went. If you got your hand out, what should be in your hand is receipts about where all of your money has gone. I think that's only fair, don't you? You were in Syria for a few months, not paying rent, and you said that yourself. And the cost of living in Syria is not that expensive. So where did your money go? Where did it go just that fast? You've not been in Canada for a month. And I find it odd that, yeah, $3,500 is a very specific amount. But you're not saying exactly why you need it. Huh. And Aaliyah is right. Gummies and vapes aren't necessities. Chantal's not over there starving. She's obviously not food insecure, because if she were, she'd be going straight to a store and buying regular groceries. She's not. If she's got money for gummies and vapes, she's fine. If she's got money to get her hair done, get her hair colored, buy the hair fibers, which, as I remember, she even said herself that the hair fibers are not cheap, especially with the amount that she needs and she uses. If she's buying everything but food, necessary food, she's okay. So don't be fooled, Beezers. She got money for all that. She ain't starving to death. She's fine. Debbie's world, it's almost like she's trying to mind F these people, like they'll think, didn't I already give her money? Or maybe I thought I gave her money. What the F? Why are they not asking her? I'm wondering that myself. Why are there not questions about where her money went? Are they too afraid to ask? Are they afraid if they start pressing on her about where's her money, where's her paycheck, that they'll get blocked? Perhaps. What the F did you do with the money we already gave you that you raised for the move? Again, good question. Where did it go? If it went to something legitimate, she should be able to provide receipts, yeah? Where are the receipts? There are none. Here's my theory. I think whatever money she got in Syria, it's already gone to party favors, food. Most of it's probably already spent back in Syria just on frivolous spending. And she's been back in Canada for longer than what she's talking about. In the react that I did last night, she claimed that she had just gotten back. I call BS on that, just based on the way she was behaving. And the fact that she said that she's already gotten the kitten. How can you just gotten the kitten if you just arrived? And another thing, I know the whole talk of animals is very upsetting to Girl World, but she kind of told on herself last night, Girl World. She said that the kitten cost her $25. Now, anyone who's ever adopted a kitten or a cat or a dog or a puppy from a reputable organization knows that it costs way more than $25 to go through a reputable organization. So my guess is that she went through, say, Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or something like that to get the kitten. That's just my guess, though. And one more thing, and I'm sorry if this upsets people. Because she got the kitten for $25, that means it wasn't fixed. So my guess is that she's going to keep the kitten long enough to grift money off of it. And then the first time it goes into heat, which maybe it would take a few months because it is very young, she'll probably abandon it because it isn't fixed. And female cats in heat do tend to get a bit noisy. But where is her money? Where did it all go? She's not explaining that. She's not showing receipts for that. She's going to be grifting money from her beezers until they all finally tell her we're out. And I don't know how long this is going to take, but considering the fact that the holiday season is coming up, there is a lot of food insecurity going on right now. A lot of people worried about feeding themselves and feeding their families and paying their rent and paying their bills and just getting everything done on time and barely squeaking by. I honestly don't think she's going to get as much as she's hoping. She's purposely asking for huge amounts of money, hoping to maybe get a fraction of that. And I hope that the Beezers do push back and say, look, we've already given you thousands. Where is your money going? This is insane. All right, something positive from Science Girl. So this cat, this street cat, is basically doing the big brain thinking of why work harder when I can work smarter? I can go to the market and get a fish versus go fishing. That cat should be adopted because it's so smart. It's like, why work hard? I could just go to the market, grab a fish, and go. Aliyah Sultana says, you can't afford your gluttony anymore. Either you get a job or put out worthy content to earn your meals. People are starving all over the world. Being a lazy, entitled beach won't cut it anymore. Another thought from me, and this has to be put on the table. Chantal is a food addict. Absolutely. She is a food addict. And food can be as lethal and overconsumed as any rug, as any party favor. Her food habit is insane. I do remember back during Crackhead Olympics, somebody asked Chantal, how much money do you spend a month in food? Do you know what her answer was? $4,000. That's just for one person, y'all. One. I don't know how much it costs to feed her these days. Not my business. But that should give you an idea about how bad her food habit is. And food is her rug of choice. She has built up her food habit to such an insane level that to keep her food addiction happy, she has to have that much food. It is in the stratosphere. But rather than wean down off of that, as she should, she's looking towards her Beezers to keep her food addiction at that level. That's why I think she's doing part of this grift. It's not for necessities. It's not because she's starving. It's because she's got habits that she has to keep going, and she can't do it herself. Whatever it is in life that you want, that you like doing, if you can't afford to do it, then you shouldn't be doing it. If you have to crowdfund and crowdsource out to keep the habit going, maybe it's time to quit. Maybe it's time to wean back, because it's nobody's responsibility to feed your addictions and feed your habits. Life with Lynn says, I put Chantal's order into my DoorDash app. This is how much she paid for her Nashi meal. I don't have a paid membership on DoorDash, so assuming Chantal does, let's take $4.98 off her final amount, making her entire meal $35.09. Yeah, and that sounds about normal, because there's always a delivery fee that gets added to Postmates or DoorDash. So $35 for one meal. And Chantal loves her fast food. She'll sometimes order several times a day, so that can quickly add up. She could easily spend $100 to $200 a day just on fast food. Not necessary groceries, fast food. You Beezers want to know where her money goes? There you go. There's part of it. And now she's back in Canada. Gummies aren't cheap. THC vapes aren't cheap. And another thing about the gummies. I remember back during Crackhead Olympics, Chantal, when it comes to whatever it is she likes, whatever it is she does, she chases her tolerance up so high that she has to do more and more and more just to feel something. So she might start out with a vape pen, move on to gummies. She'll be doing 200 milligrams a day, which is already insane, by the way. Then move on to 500, then move on to 1,000. Then she's back to doing the wheelchair edible gummies, which are like 1,000 milligrams a pop. And by the way, those things aren't cheap. Wheelchair gummies, they cost like $80 to $100 per gummy. Her tolerance is going to go up. The cost is going to go up. And the money is going to disappear. And she's going to come back to you, Beezers, begging and begging and begging and begging until you say enough. It's time to switch your thinking, Beezers. This is not a situation of a 40-year-old woman who's down bad, that by no fault of her own, she has no home. She gave up her home in Canada. She had a home. She had an apartment. She could have stayed put. She gave it up to go back to Syria. That was her choice. But not only was it her choice, it was also her responsibility. By leaving Canada, that meant she was taking on the responsibility that if she came back to Canada, then it was her responsibility that if she wanted to start over, she could provide for herself. Again, she was in Syria. She wasn't paying rent. She wasn't paying bills like the rest of us. She knew that she would have to leave eventually. She should have been putting money away to provide for that. And yet she's coming back to Canada saying, I literally have nothing and I have no money. She's not even telling you guys how much money that she has to pay for things, what she's contributing. She's asking for your money, but yet she's not saying, well, this is how much I'm putting into the pot and this is where my money is going. I would think it's only fair that if she's asking for more money and a lot of it, that you guys have the right to say, where are your receipts? What are you paying for? Where is your money going? You know, do halvesies at least. But she's not even providing her half. She's just saying, trust me. I need more money. I need more money. This whole grift thing will never end. It will never end. The more you give her, the more she's going to need, the more she's going to ask for until you finally cut her off. Tweets R Us says, Foodie Beauty, but she already was given money towards a scooter. Yes, she was. So she blew her money on a ton of green and food and now wants $3,500. Yeah, nope. Here's the post from Foodie. Foodie is saying, hi, Beezers. Instead of an Amazon wish list, I made a PayPal fundraiser this time for a new scooter and for things from my place if you wanted to help. Those who donate $100 or more towards a scooter will have their name signed on it. I'm raising $3,500 until 11/29/2025 for scooter and new home fund. Can you help? I think the Beezers have given enough, don't you, Chantal? Instead of you going to them and saying, can you help me? Why don't you walk out your front door and pay attention to what's going on in the world? The fact that a lot of people are very worried about how they're going to be fed, how they're going to pay their bills, how they're going to pay their rent. Instead of asking for help, why don't you offer help? You've got the money. Why don't you set up a true fundraiser on your channel? You could do it. You're over 10K. Have all the money go to a local food bank or organization to help feed people. And does it strike anybody odd? She's saying those who donate $100 will have their names signed on the scooter. So it costs $100 to take out a Sharpie pen and sign somebody's name. That's awfully expensive for a signature, yeah? And of course, she's not doing an Amazon wish list, because an Amazon wish list, you're buying something physical. and that's where the money's going. No, she wants it on PayPal, where she gets the money in pocket and she can do what she wants with it, versus those of you picking out something on a wish list for a house and you know the money was spent on that item. Once more, she's an addict. And the last thing that anybody should be doing is putting money into the pocket of an addict that way. You do that, you gotta know that your money is going to be used for something not intended. It's not going to go for food, or at least not good food. It's not going to go for essentials. It's going to go for things that they don't really need. Chantal has many different addictions, and she's looking towards other people to fund those addictions and keep them going at the level at which she chose to build them at. But it's out of control. Her addictions are way over her head. The cost of maintaining some of them is way over her head. And that's why she's going to all of you beezers to keep it going. But I don't think you can. It's too much. Asking thousands of dollars every month to pay for food, to pay for a cat, it's insane. Absolutely insane. If Chantal really wanted stuff for her house, why not just be happy with an Amazon wish list? She'll get stuff for the house, but obviously she doesn't need stuff for the house, or she'd be happy with just a wish list. Nope, she wants the money. She definitely wants that money. I don't think you're going to get very much, Chantal, and I think you know that, but you're going to get whatever it is you can get out of people until they figure out, like, this is insane, this is stupid. Here's something else that happened, courtesy of Kelly, saying Foodie Beauty has unprivated some of her old videos. Yep. She finally did it. Girl must be broke. She unprivated some of her old mukbangs. Well, I think some of those might be getting reported because that's harmful eating content. But here's a screenshot. So she unprivated the videos. So let's recap. So to make money, Chantal put up a fundraiser on PayPal. She's unprivating her old videos so that the feedies in her audience, they can watch the videos and she gets some Google AdSense. She's getting a kitten using another innocent life to grift with. She's doing the most to make people mad, to make that money. And again, where's your money, Chantal? Where did it all go? Debbie's World says, what happened to all the money that she e-begged the last 2 months? I thought that money was for the move. Now she's e-begging for another $3,500 for the scooter and the new home. WTF. Right, where to go? There was already money given for the scooter. One more time. How much is she really going to use the scooter if it is almost November now? And soon the weather in Canada will be pretty bad. It's going to be cold, snowing, icy roads, all of that. How much is she really going to use that scooter if she gets it in the first place? A scooter that Foodie would need for her current weight would cost quite a bit. And she probably wouldn't take care of it, and it will probably get broken. But can anybody see Chantal riding on the sidewalk or on the streets with a scooter in like 20, 30-degree weather while it's snowing? Because I sure can't. She's just trying to find any reason in the world to get money out of people, yet people really aren't stopping to think, wait a minute. It's going to be winter soon. How much will this scooter really get used? Is it viable? Does it make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. And in Chantal's world, nothing has to make sense for her to find a reason to get money. She just has to ask the money and then people figure it out later. Milker says, but Chantal has bought press-on nails and made a physical nail appointment, bought a wig, hairspray, hair fibers, and a whole kitten. Right? She did all that. None of those things are essential. Those of us in the really real world, we know what essentials are, don't we? Pay your bills, pay your rent, buy your food, take care of your families. Those are essentials. Press on nails, not essential. Nail appointments, not essential. Buying wigs, not essential. Hair fibers, not essential. And you don't need a kitten if you're grifting money from people. If you can't support yourself to the point where you're going to other people for money to support you, then you don't need to bring another innocent life around you that will depend on you. If you can't depend on yourself, you don't need something around you that is relying on you. Full stop. Stebby's World says, so the Beezers are just donating money to an obese stoner. Why are they not asking the question, what happened to the money we already donated to you in all of October and most of September? She was trying to raise $10,000 and she got to almost $6,000. Yeah, like again, where's the money? Where's that raised money along with your paychecks? Maybe the Beezers aren't thinking about her paychecks, because YouTube money, that's kind of hard to track. Nobody knows for sure how much she's making, but nobody's questioning that either, and they should be. She said she had quite a bit of money left a while ago. What happened to it? Debbie's World says this total MF. She specifically was trying to raise $10,000 in September and October for the move and for the scooter, and she was successful. In my estimation, she got over $6,000 from the Beezers donation. So why in the F is she doing it again like she never got any money? Well, I'm just going to tell y'all. I don't think she needs money per se, but I think she wants money. And she's a scammer. A scammer could have $50,000 in the bank and still act like they're broke because they don't want to touch that money. They want to save it for fun things like vapes, gummies, party favors, fast food, nail appointments, wigs. That's their fun money. So to have that fun money around, they'll go to people and see what they can get out of them. First 3 back, she's showing that she's not in need. She's fine. So, Beezers, I say save your money, but do what you want with your money. It's yours. Acadia Strong says, this aged well. So this is what Chantal once said about her home country of Canada. She says, quote, I'm not going to Canada. I'm not stepping near the freaking Western world. We're not going to Canada. We don't want to live there, okay? It's a poop hole. I don't like paying taxes. No, I don't like the government taking all of our money. Sorry. She never paid taxes. That's why she's got 2 bankruptcies on her record and one of them is still active. She never really paid taxes. That's why she's in trouble. And it's funny how her tone changes even when it comes to her home country. She got the same attitude towards Canada that she does to people in her life. When she doesn't need you, then she'll trash talk you. You're of no importance. But if she needs you, suddenly the positive talk comes out. But let's watch the clip, shall we?
I'm not going to Canada. I'm not stepping near the fucking Western world. We're not going to Canada. We don't want to live there. Okay? It's a shithole. I don't like paying taxes. No, I don't like the government taking all our money. Sorry. There's a lot of people leaving Canada as expats. Do you like paying, if you make $100K a year, do you like paying $35,000 in tax when you still have shit healthcare? And yeah, the cops are useless. What, are you happy with that? They tax the crap out of you. I have free healthcare. I went
Complaining about taxes and she didn't pay hers.
to a clinic here. You know what it cost me for medication and treatment? Several forms of treatment? $3.
Chantal, when you were back in Canada, when you had your healthcare plan, you abused the system. You were constantly going to the ER, not because you really needed treatment, but because you would have your B moments and then you would abuse the healthcare system to go to the hospital to treat you after your B moments. You'll go out and have yourself a fine little time eating all kinds of fast food, junk food, the Chinese buffet, and then go to the hospital for insulin and treatments. You were also using the ER many, many times over, that if you did something or said something that got the Beezers angry, you ticked off your own community, you would deflect going to the ER for sympathy. You switch the feeling. Oh my God, guys, I'm in the ER and I'm so sick. And then people would feel sympathy for you, and that would stop them from being angry at you.
Also, my medications are a lot cheaper here, actually, by half price. I have no interest in going back there. The feelings I have there compared to here, no. I don't like Canada. I don't have to. You're allowed to like Canada all you want, but I don't. How do I want to utilize the system, Pepperminty?
So it sounds to me, Chantal, that your main complaint for your home country is you have to be an adult like the rest of us, and you got to pay like the rest of us. You have a job, you pay for stuff. Yes, you got to pay taxes, got to pay your bills. Her main complaint with Canada was that she had to do some adulting. She had to be an adult and do the adult thing and pay for stuff. And she doesn't want to pay for anything. She makes money. She just doesn't want to pay for things. And she has an entitled sense about herself of I'm Foodie Beauty and everybody else should just pay my way. And since the Beezers, a lot of them do pay her way, like that keeps that way of thinking going, that reinforces that bad behavior. That instead of being responsible with her money, she's going to be irresponsible with other people's money. That's why you can't coddle someone like her. You can't cradle her. You can't support this because it's unsupportable. The more you give, the more she takes, and she will never give back. And she'll never be responsible and be smart with her money. She's going to continue to be stupid with other people's money.
Don't even live there, so try again. What, having a right to healthcare? That's me wanting to utilize the system? Anywhere you live in the world, you have a right to healthcare. Give me a break. Guess what? I'm never going back to Canada.
Well, that aged like milk.
I don't want to even go there. Like, I have so many bad memories there, it's just, no. I'm not going to Canada. Fuck.
I think the main reason why she didn't want to come back to Canada is because she's running from her bankruptcy trustee. She doesn't want them catching up to her because she knows she owes them a lot of money.
Canada. I have such negative feelings of the people in Canada, like just the biggest trash. I really wish my family didn't have to live in that shithole.
Well, it's funny because your family is living in Canada and they're doing just fine. They don't have the same feelings you do, but you feel that way. Why is that? There's lots of people that live in Canada and are living fine and love it. I've seen pictures of Canada. It is beautiful. It's huge. There's so much to do. How could you hate being in Canada? My goodness. Lisa Manning says, Dear Twitter, in 2 days, millions of Americans will lose their food benefits. Local food pantries are trying to stock up to absorb some of the blow, at least for families with children. If any of you are inclined to give something, just give to something, just not this. And I support that. If anybody wants to give extra money or help, there are organizations, there are food banks, like they are trying their best to help people. Again, a lot of people are very food insecure right now. They're very, very scared. They're angry and they're scared. And it's going to be rough. It's going to be real rough. So this is going on, and Chantal's over here grifting money for no random reason. She's not homeless. According to her, she's got a home. Obviously, she's got enough food if she's over there ordering DoorDash. She's not exactly eating bologna and cheese sandwiches and ramen noodles. So there's no starvation here. There's no poverty with Chantal. She's not on the street. She's not in a homeless shelter or anything like that. So I say before you give to somebody like Chantal, give to yourself first. Take care of yours. And I was going off about Foodie. Here's my tweet. I said, Foodie Beauty, if you have to start a fundraiser to get a home, you don't need a cat. You shouldn't have a cat. Where'd all your money go? You were living rent-free in Syria for months. Yep. She'd have money stacked away. More than the rest of us. I mean, 3 or 4 months in Syria? Living rent-free? How much money is that? That you would normally pay in rent and you didn't have to pay it. Where did the money go? Where'd it go? And why are you asking for so much so suddenly? Fondue Spiteful Beach says, Foodie Beauty, not even 24 hours, and this will be the new normal. Using her community to bankroll her life. If you can't afford to support yourself, you should have kept yourself in Syria. Well, she couldn't exactly stay there, but she knew at some point she'd have to come back to Canada because where else is she going to go? I mean, if you're traveling abroad, you know at some point you got to come back, and you should be preparing well ahead of time. It's no one's responsibility to help you start over, whether you're a YouTuber or not. So what do we got here? So this is a fundraiser saying, hi, Beezers, just trying to raise for a new scooter so I can go out places around town, and also starting from the bottom with my new place and need pretty much everything. Anything helps, thank you. Those who donate 100 or more towards a scooter will have their name signed on it. But again, Beezers, if Foodie has said to all of you, she's not showing the house, how are you going to know what she bought with that money? Think hard. If you give her money for, say, a bed or a table or anything related to the house, how are you going to see it if she's not going to show it to you? If all you see is a corner wall of a room, you're not going to know what she bought. So think hard on that. Think real hard and ask yourselves if that's going to make any kind of sense. And by the way, Foodie, it doesn't take $3,500 to furnish a house. If you're just starting out, you get what you can get. You can easily go to places like the dollar store for a lot of your appliance stuff. Get things for cheap. You can go to Goodwill and get some furniture and other necessities. You can save a lot of money just being smart with your money. Those of us that are older know that, and even the younger ones too. But if you only got so much in your pocket, you make that dollar stretch. You don't need $3,500 to furnish a house. You may want it, but you don't necessarily need it. You know, like a lot of us get by just fine with a lot less. Nothing But Love says $3,500. This person has nerve. Go get a job, cutie. Yeah, look, if you have a 100K channel, and if making $2,000, $3,000 a month from YouTube plus PayPal is not enough for you, maybe it's time to get off YouTube. Maybe it's time to go do something else. If that is not enough, it should be enough for a lot of people. It's time to do something else. It's time to change your habits. It's time to take inventory of your life, because you can't rely on other people to support you. We all have responsibilities. We all got bills. We all got rent. We got to feed ourselves. We have to feed our loved ones. We got to take care of our pets. It's no one else's responsibility to take care of a stranger on the internet, especially if that person is a full-grown, capable adult of taking care of themselves. It's no one's responsibility to take care of her habits, which should have been checked a long time ago. But she never checked them, and she never got in recovery. And that is her problem, no one else's. No one. D. Angry Scott says, so now Foodie is back in Canada and she needs more money. Just another $3,500 for the scooter Wanda the Wallet said she would buy her, and for a new home fund. Yeah, what happened to Wanda? Didn't want her give her money for the scooter? So what happened? Again, what happened to that freaking money? Okay, a palate cleanser from Beauty of Nature and Music. Saying, so cute. He's just getting some apples from the market to eat. So that one time at band camp, that one time at the market, there was this moose. Is that a moose or a deer or an elk? I think it's an elk. This one time at the market, this elk just dropped on by and decided, you know what? I'm hungry. I'm just going to go get an apple. Just keeping it casual over here. Keep walking, y'all. Nothing to see here. Smart animal. Again, working smarter, not harder. Why struggle to look for food when there's food all over the place? Kitty Cat Empire says, we go as a pair. Aww. So you got to know that somebody's going to have to adopt both of them. Clearly they love each other. This is a bonded pair. You're so cute. And here's a picture of love from why you should have a cat. I have never seen a cat so full of love. So this is what it looks like when an animal is bonded to you. This is clearly a daddy cat. Look. And the baby's like, love on me. I love you. What are you doing? I want to be a part of it. Look. This beautiful floof. Saying, pet me, daddy. Pet me. I love you. That's the look of love. You don't have to force it. It's just there. Queen Jellybean says, yeah, I have on hair fibers, just a little in the top. Foodie Beauty girl, that stuff is dumped in there thicker than the gunk in your unwashed panties. No, not the unwashed panties. Try again. Yeah, you can see the hair fibers. I don't know what she was doing with that live. I think it was a combination of hair fibers. Maybe she had gone for, to get her hair dyed. And maybe a hairpiece or something. She was doing kind of all three. So that's it for the Twitter peeps, y'all. Yeah, so grifters be grifting. Chantal's not been back that long, and she's already pumping people for money. At a time when there's a lot of food insecurity going around, a lot of people afraid about how they're going to feed themselves and their family. Even before SNAP benefits got cut off, a lot of people were struggling to feed their families because the cost of groceries going up. And I'm sure she's seen all that, but she doesn't care. She wants what she wants, and she doesn't care what other people might potentially be going through. And where this could be a prime time to do something nice and give back to the community that might need it, she's going to continue to take. And that's a constant in Foodie's world. Taking, but not giving back. Always asking, always receiving, but not giving back as she should. Well, that's it. That's all I got today. So what do you guys think about this whole thing? I honestly think that Foodie's not going to get nearly as much as she thinks she will. Like the faucet of money is going to get cut off at some point or dry up, and she's going to be mighty disappointed. And that's her fault. She had a few months in Syria to prepare. She knew she had to come back. She couldn't stay over there. She was a tourist. And if she made the choice to leave her home country, to go be somewhere else, then it was her responsibility to prepare for the coming back, not her visas. So that's all I got, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed this Twitter recap video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.